Hey guys, 13.6, last one for chapter 13, law of sines and cosines for finding a missing angle. So objective today, solve for a missing angle in a non-right triangle with law of sine or cosine. Here we go. Law of sine, remember, is sine of an angle over its opposite side. That's equal for all angles in a triangle. So sine of this over that side length is equal to sine of this over that side length is equal to sine of this over that side length. All right, so using it. Finding the measure of angle B using the law of sines. Now I know I need to use the law of sines because I'm given an opposite side and an opposite angle. I've got numbers that are straight across from one another there. That's how you tell that it's a law of sine problem. This is going to be sine of 82 over 29 is equal to, we're looking for angle B, so sine of B over 24. Start out by cross multiplying. Bottom here times top here is 29 sine of B, and bottom times top is 24 sine of 82. All right, we're trying to figure out what B is. We're trying to isolate that variable. The way we do that is moving from the inside out. We're peeling away the outermost layer first. The furthest thing from B is this 29. It's times 29, so I have to get rid of it by dividing by 29. And I get that sine of B is equal to all of this, 24 sine 82 over 29. So let's go to our calculator, and it's going to enter very similar to what we did in yesterday's video. I'm in degree mode, 24 sine of 82 divided by 29. So the top of the fraction is right here, the bottom of the fraction is right here, and I've got that end parenthesis, right? So there's not an open end there or else it's not going to work. If I hit enter, it's about 0.82, right? So sine of B is about 0.82. Now you could do inverse sine of 0.82, however, that's not super accurate when it comes to trig. Really little decimal places make big issues for trig problems. So the most accurate way to do this, go inverse sine, so a little calculator boot camp here. Second sine, we're figuring out what B is, so we got to get rid of sine by doing inverse sine. Inverse sine of, rather than putting in 0.82, I'm going to input this number directly into here. And the easy way to do that, if you look at the minus symbol down here, the negative key next to the decimal, it's got a little capital A, capital N, capital S for answer. So what that does is it takes the previous answer and it pastes it into here. So if we do second and then the negative key, second and this one, it should look like that. Inverse sine of ANS, end parenthesis, hit enter, and 55 degrees approximately is angle B. Boom, solved. Okay. For the next one, if you want to pause and try it on your own, see if you can figure it out. One little difference with this one, and this is by design, not a typo, it's asking you to find angle B. You don't have the opposite side to angle B. You can figure out angle C using the law of sines, and then guess what? You've got two angles in a triangle. You can subtract from 180 to find angle B. So try that out. Move on, unpause the video when you're ready. Okay, so we're finding it somewhat indirectly by figuring out what the angle C is and then subtracting from 180 to find angle B. Here we go. Opposite angle, opposite side, so I know it's law of sine, 97 over 22. Is sine of C over 19. Cross multiplying, 22 times sine of C, 19 times sine 97. outermost layer is this 22. It's times 22, so I get rid of it by dividing by 22. And I get that sine of c is equal to all of this. So let's plug that into the calculator. All right, 19 sine of 97, that's the entire top of the fraction, divided by 22, the bottom of the fraction. And we get about 0.86. So we know that sine of c is about 0.86. Now we'll do inverse sine, so second sine. And again, for maximum accuracy, I'm going to plug this directly in here by doing second and then the negative key. So second answer, and it's about 59 degrees. So C is 59 degrees. Now, that doesn't answer the question though, does it? We figured out this angle, but we really need to know angle B to solve the problem. Well, 180 minus 97 minus 59 is 24 degrees. So that is our solution. All right, so law of cosines. Law of cosines. For an angle measurement, you could use the formula we talked about yesterday, do some algebra to get cosine over to one side and move everything else to the other side, but really the point of this is we want you to be able to look at a diagram, determine what information that you have, determine which formula you're going to use, then pick that formula and use it accurately. And so that extra algebra step we thought was kind of unnecessary. So this is our second form of cosine, of law of cosines specifically for finding an angle. And now in this case, we know all three sides and we're trying to figure out that angle. And again, the important thing is that this capital letter and this lowercase letter match so that these two are the opposite angle and side, and then these two just get plugged into the other two. All right. So finding the smallest angle. Think back to geometry class. The way you figure out the smallest angle is figuring out which is the shortest side. The shortest side is 6.3, so the angle over here has to be the smallest angle. If we were looking for the longest angle, or largest angle, we would look to the longest side. The longest side is 12, so angle C is the largest angle. If we were looking for the in-between one, 10.5 is the medium side, the in-between side, so angle A is the medium angle. Okay, so B, capital B, and 6.3, those are important ones. That's what's going to go here, and then the other two numbers are going to go there. So for this, it is cosine of B is equal to the opposite side, 6.3 squared, minus the other two, so 10.5 squared minus 12 squared, all over negative 2 times the other two sides, 10.5 and 12. With this one, I like to take this one in parts. I like to figure out what the top is, what the bottom is, and then divide them. So, to do the top, 6.3 squared minus 10.5 squared minus 12 squared is equal to negative 214.56, so negative 214.56. Then I'm going to do the bottom, negative 2 times 10.5 times 12, and that's negative 252. All right. So cosine of B is equal to this. That means that B is equal to inverse cosine of that. And this is a lot easier to use for inverse cosine than all of this. You can do it that way, and I would love to make a long rambling video about how to do it, but I have found that this is a little bit nicer. Okay, so moving over to the calculator. Cosine inverse. Oops, that's cosine. We want inverse cosine, so second cosine, second then cosine. When you're doing this, there is a difference between the minus key and the negative symbol. This is a negative number, this is a subtraction symbol. If you use this subtraction symbol, you're going to get an error with this. So negative, using that one, 214.56 divided by negative 252. And we get that that angle is about 31.6 degrees. All right, last one. Find the largest angle if you want to pause and try it on your own, and then take a peek at this. It's kind of the same thing as the last one. Okay, longest side is opposite the largest angle. So we are using these two. That is going to be cosine of E, and that 33 is going to go right here. Those are the important, those two important numbers to get in the right spot. All right, cosine of E is equal to 33 squared minus 14 squared minus 27 squared over negative 2 times 14 times 27. Let's plug those two things in separately, is my preferred method. So 33 squared minus 14 squared minus 27 squared is positive 164. And then the bottom, negative 2 times 14 times 27 is negative 756. So E, angle E, is equal to inverse cosine of this. 164 divided by negative 756, just like that in the calculator. Oopsies. So second cosine for inverse cosine, because we're finding an angle measurement, so you've got to use inverse cosine, over negative 756. And boom, approximately 102.5 degrees. All right, so there you have it. Again, email your teachers if you have any questions, and good luck on the quiz.